Hi everyone, it's the Rangers review. We're at Tynecastle. It's a big game, Blair, isn't it? Big game today between Hearts and Rangers in the Scottish Premiership. Rangers can go within 6 points of Hearts with a game in hand. If they win here today, if they lose, they stay behind Motherwell in fourth. Feels like quite a defining afternoon for Danny Rowe and his side. We're going to get through the team, bring you that team news and then react to it. So the Rangers team, as you can see, in a back three, Jack Butland in goals. It's a back three of James Tavernier, Manny Fernandez and Dujon Sterling. We'll speak about what shape that might take up in a minute, Blair. Max Aarons, Connor Barron, Nico Raskin and Jayden Magoma across the middle. We think it will be Mo Diamande maybe a little bit more advanced, perhaps not in the front three, but certainly playing off that right-hand side, given he's got a left foot. Mikey Moore off the left and Bojan Miovski through the middle. Initial thoughts?
Yeah, first off, I'm looking forward to this one, Josh. I think it'll be a good one today. It feels like a big occasion. Tynecastle is always rocking. It's one of the best grounds to be at a game, especially in the press box. You feel as though the stands are really coming down on top of you. So I think it'll be really good. Give you your credit. You predicted this team on the train through here this morning. You said this was going to be the exact starting lineup. So you maybe knew something.
Should have tweeted it.
Yeah, you maybe knew something the rest of us didn't, but I can be your witness that you definitely said that this would be the starting team today. I think if you look at that back three, I said in midweek, I'd done a little preview for one of the Hearts podcasts. I said that James Tavernier is probably likely to come back into this side. Yeah. I think it's that experience that I think you're needing on a day like today. Obviously, Nasser Giga is away to AFCON now, so James Tavernier, I think, was the only choice really to put in there. I know maybe Clinton Nsiala, some people were saying that he could maybe come back in there, but I think especially when you get Dujon Sterling on the other side, just working his way back into the team after so long out of it, I think it would be a massive risk to put Clinton Nsiala in as well, given that he's not played a game since, April, I think it is, since he's played. So I think putting two of them in would be too much. So as much as James Tavernier has had his issues of late, I still think he was probably the most sensible choice to fill out that back three with the options available.
Yeah, the bench, which I'm going to lean over your shoulder and read, is Kelly, Nsiala, Adamson, Dowell, Asgard, Gassama, Curtis, Chumiti, Danilo. Yeah, we speaking on the train on the way here, we were talking about what the team would be, and I just thought that Roll would go with not only a back five, but probably the most defensive selection he's went with so far, because that's what he's tried to do. He's tried to establish some sort of base, give Rangers a bit of defensive solidity to build on, and I think their best chance of getting a result here today, and I'll read out the Hearts team in a minute, I think the best chance of getting a result here is actually surrendering a bit of control of the ball, because I think an end-to-end game will suit Hearts a bit more. I think they have more quality in the final third in the form of Kizaridis and Braga and Shankland. And this is, the template the Roll has used so far. Diamande being in there, I don't mind that because he's got a left foot. I think he tends to play better in big games, and I think he tends to play better in games where there's not pressure from a emotional standpoint, but where there's pressure on the ball, because he's... I think he's better playing with his back to goal than when he's got too much time, quite often. Barron was always going to play. Nico Raskin will probably be your deepest midfielder, you'd imagine. Max Aarons, we've seen him warming up as part of the attacking unit instead of the defensive unit, and he will try and stretch Hearts in the back line. He's probably got more legs than James Tavernier to get up and down. And I agree with you in the back three. I think that Tavernier's form's been really bad recently, and there'd be a case on form for him not being included in this team. However, putting Clinton Nsiala in for his first start in a long time, alongside Manny Fernandez, two relatively inexperienced defenders, I'm not sure how that would work. And I'm not sure whether it will be Dujon Sterling on the left side or probably Manny Fernandez off the left with Sterling in the middle. Could be either. Depends. Maybe you want Fernandez in the middle if you want Sterling on Kizaridis.
Let me posit something to you here. What I can see happening today is essentially points Rangers going into a 3-3-3-1 almost, and you've got that back three sitting there, as you can see on the screen. I think you'll maybe see one of those, or potentially a 4-3-3, and you see one of those wing backs moving up and joining in that sort of front three. So it could be Magoma, Moore, and Diamande just ahead of the midfield too. And I think he'll really look to his wing backs today to provide that sort of attacking outlet for Rangers. I think that we've seen it with Jayden Megoma so far this season. He's quite happy to get up the park. He's quite happy to go and run at his man. I think Mikey Moore will come inside. I think he likes to drift into that area. I think he's looked his best when he's drifting in.
Yeah.
I think you've seen that at Rugby Park when he picked the ball up on the half turn and he's moving in. He's moving in towards between the posts and really driving at. So I see Megoma picking up that space on the wing. I still want to see more from Max Aarons in terms of going forward. I think I've been quite critical of Max Aarons a lot this season. That he turns back quite a lot, and he doesn't bomb up the park as much. But I'd like to see him moving forward today. And if we go to the top end of the park, Josh, I think Bojan Majowski being back in there is absolutely huge for Rangers this afternoon. Again, we were discussing it on the journey in here. If Bojan Majowski's fit, who do you start? Is it Yusuf Chermiti? Is it Danilo? Without Bojan Majowski, I think it was really exposed against Hibs on Monday that Rangers don't have anyone between the posts that has that instinct, that has that predatory, I know where the goal is, I'm going to take on a shot. And Yusuf Chermiti, he looked a bit better the other night. He did make things happen, but still far from convincing in terms of an actual goal threat. So the fact that Majowski's back in there, the fact that it wasn't particularly long, the injury, and hopefully he can pick up where he left off against Kilmarnock and Ferencváros.
I agree with this comment from Red Wing, says more like a 3-5-1-1 with Moore floating off Majowski. I just think that Diamande of the three midfielders will be the one who pushes up more because he has the left foot, doesn't he? Unlike Barron or Raskin, to actually give Rangers a bit of balance, because otherwise they've only got one left foot in that team, haven't they? In Jayden Megoma, Majowski, as you say, has 3 goals in the last 2 games before that injury. I just think it makes sense to start him, and Diamande I think helps you get up the pitch because he can play with his back to goal in a way that you won't have that outlet with Chermiti, who does have his size. Mikey Moore, arguably Rangers' most important player going into today's game. He's been the one who I think consistently looks to demand the ball. And I'm not surprised that Gassama doesn't start, because Rowe kind of said on Monday that he thinks he might be more of a threat coming off the bench.
Well, that was what I found really interesting when I actually asked Danny Rowe after the game, basically, what were your thoughts on not starting Nico Raskin and Jedi Gassama? Obviously, Nico Raskin had picked up that slight injury, and then he came on, so he was always going to be okay for today in my mind. But Jedi Gassama, he was more, he's good at attacking space. He's good at attacking space when there's a little bit of time left. Maybe players are tired a little bit. And I like the idea of Jedi Gassama as an impact substitute. I think that he's flattered to deceive a lot this season from the start. I think he's cut a frustrated figure this season from the start. I don't know, maybe I'm reading too much into it. I don't know how much his reaction to being substituted against Ferencváros has played into this, when he didn't look happy to be taken off the park. But I think that he will, and he was really unlucky against Hibs the other night not to get that goal. I think that showed you what Danny Rule is wanting from Gassama coming off the bench. You look at that Hibs team on Monday and they look down their feet by the end of that game. Gassama comes on, injects that bit of pace, injects that bit of urgency, has got the space to run into and nearly grabs a goal. So I think it's a certainty you're going to see Gassama around about 70 minutes today. Any which way the game's going, I reckon he'll come on the park. But I agree with you on Mikey Moore. I think he is fast becoming Rangers' most important player in the team, probably Rangers' technical best player in the team. I think that a lot of the creative outlet will flow through him today. I think that Danny Rule will be looking at him, young as he is, will be looking at Mikey Moore to make things happen. Because you look at the rest of that team and Mohamed Diamande isn't massively a chance creator. Nico Raskin isn't a chance creator.
I think Diamande in these games, I think what he should be able to do is connect the game a bit. But I agree with you, he's not someone who...
He's not going to carve open the Hearts defence. He's not going to be the man that's going to pick up the ball, go past 3 men and thread a ball through for Majowski. Much as we would like him to be, I don't think he is that player. Whereas I think Mikey Moore has that in his locker. I think Mikey Moore has that ability to do something special today. And I think him linking up with Megoma, they obviously have that previous relationship as well. These two boys know each other, you know what I mean? So the two of them playing together down that left-hand side, I think that's where Rangers are going to get a lot of their joy today, if they're to get something here at Tynecastle.
Yeah, the Hearts team, just before we finish, is no real surprises. It's Swallow, Kent, Kingsley, Shankland, Braga, Devlin, Steinwender, Finlay, Magnuson, McEntee, Kazaridis. So no, from a first glance, Craig Halkett in there. some murmurs there might have been a bit of illness in the Heart camp, so it looks like Frankie Kent goes into a back four with Steinlender on the right, Kingsley at left back, no Harry Milne for Hearts today, no Benny Beningame, but he is on the bench. Midfield three of Devlin, Magnuson and McEntee. Because Reedus, we think off the right, Braga just off the left, and Shanklin through the middle. I just suspect that Rangers will, as I say, try and give Hearts a bit of the ball, a bit of the challenge of can you break us down, quiet the home crowd. It's going to be a loud home crowd here today, and then go and try and win this game in the second half.
I think that set pieces are going to be massive today, Josh. I think they're going to be absolutely massive.
Can I surprise you with something? So Hearts have scored.
Always.
Hearts have scored 9 goals from set pieces in the league. Rangers scored 7.
Yeah.
So
yeah, we did that podcast a little while ago talking about Rangers set piece play and how Danny Rose changing it, and obviously with the set piece coach coming in, I think Hearts are a big team. They're a big team at the back, and they can get the ball in, and they know what they're doing in terms of corners and free kicks. But so do Rangers now. I think Rangers' most dangerous threat in this team, bar Majowski, is Emmanuel Fernandez from corners and free kicks. I mean, you're looking at that goal in the week. Rangers didn't really look like scoring until Dujon Sterling picks out Fernandez. So I think anytime there's a corner, anytime there's a dangerous free kick, I think you're going to see both teams really, really looking at it as an opportunity, because I think it will be quite nervy. I think it will be quite cagey in terms of the outfield play. So I think that any dead balls into that box could be the decisive factor this afternoon.
Okay, there is your Rangers team. If you need a reminder, Butland, Tavernier, Fernandez, Sterling, Magoma, Raskin, Barron, Aarons, Diamande, Moore, Miowski. We will be back after the
get the score prediction from you.
1-1.
2-1 to Rangers.
Okay.
Since it's Christmas.
Yeah, since it's Christmas, I think personally, on a personal basis, we are owed a Rangers statement win. So I will absolutely take it if it arrives. We'll be live, or we'll be joining you on YouTube after the press conference. Stick with us across all of our social channels and WhatsApp as well. Often the best way to follow all of our work, all of the updates from any game, Tynecastle 2. Quick question on the subs. We'll read the subs bench one more time. It's Kelly and Ciala, Adamson, Dowell, Asgard, Gassama, Curtis, Chermiti and Danilo have one kickoff here at Tynecastle. We will join you after the game. Enjoy it wherever you're watching it. Bye for now.